Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhavatu Saha Viryam Karavavare Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Last, Mala asked, what is the quick way of recovery when I am disturbed over some issues? And you said there is no quick way, but that's only temporary way. I wanted to know what is a temporary way to recover from when whatever issues is happening at that moment.
Yeah. The question is from last class. There was a question in the last class by Mala asking, what is the quick way to recovery from disturbances? For which the answer was, there is no quick way, but there are temporary ways. There is no quick way, but there are only temporary ways is what was said. Now the question is, what are those temporary ways? What are those temporary ways? Ask any indulgent person, ask any ignorant person, they will tell you. What are the temporary ways? Again, I repeat. Ask any indulgent person, ask any ignorant person, they will tell you what are all the ways by which you can quickly recover, which they think as complete recovery. So, ask any indulgent person, they will tell you what are the quick ways to recovery. The quick way to recovery is get into a sensual indulgence. Whenever you are agitated, the quick way that people do, which is the wrong way, not a recommended way. Even though what is the quick way, temporary way, it's not a recommended way. We don't recommend that. Why we don't recommend that? Because it need not be recommended. Anyway, you will be doing it by yourself. It need not be recommended. Anyway, the person will go into it by default, the person will go into it. So there's no need to recommend that. But still, what are the ways that people adopt? Sensual indulgences. Anything that can make you forget very fast is the temporary way of recovery. This is the formula. What is the temporary way of recovery? Anything that makes you forget yourself. Anything that gives you a kick instantly. That is a temporary way. Intoxicant. All intoxicants are that. You follow? You go to a movie, 3 hours, isn't it? Go to a movie, 3 hours. You are in that?
Okay.
Yeah, you go to a movie. What is the first thing they do in the movie? The lights are off, isn't it? In Vedanta class, the first thing is told is put the lights on, put more lights. Have you noticed the difference? Have you even observed the difference? Vedanta class கூட ஹால்ல லைட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு ஸ்பீக்கர் மேல ஃபோக்கஸ் போகலாம். We can put the focus on the speaker, no, even here. Won't it be more dramatic? Ella from class members, these advices come, sir. Yeah, all our people only, I don't blame. And some of them are sitting here also. Who gave those advices? So why can't we do it like that? Dramatic effect we will get, no? But we are intoxicating or what here, isn't it? So intoxication, what is the thing happens? First thing, what do they do in a movie theater? Switch off the light. Once the light is switched off, you are switched off from yourself, you enter the fantasy. You enter the fantasy, and then you'll be in that fantasy for a while. After 3 hours, lights are on, all the miseries come back. You follow? What is a temporary way? Anyway, everybody is doing it by default. It need not be recommended. In the name of spirituality, also people recommend these kind of practices. Go to a temple, do chanting. They do recommend these kind of practices, thinking that these are all temporary ways. Now it won't work. Why? Because going there, mind will be focused on. Going there, what the mind will switch on to. You follow? Therefore, there is no quick method. There are temporary methods which are all dangerous. Which are all dangerous. Tapas. Tapas is the method. That's it. Whether we like it or not, tapas is the method. You follow? So there is no temporary method. People try. There are so many temporary methods people try. One set of people go on like film music. Another set of people like classical music. Very devoted people like bhajan music. In Michael Jackson also people will be dancing. In bhajans also people are dancing. What is the difference? There's absolutely no difference. And the person who's dancing in bhajans goes back thinking that he has become another Surdas. He has become another Mirabai. He has become another Chaitanya. Why? Simply getting into something that makes you to forget. And in fact, I have to ask each and every one of you to give me that list. You all will have a better list than my list. You follow what I'm saying? So there are no quick methods. There are only temporary methods, and these temporary methods are dangerous. Why are they dangerous? Why are they dangerous? You know, when you have a severe problem, like a heart attack or something, the paramedics will come. Correct? The paramedics will come and they will revive you. If you say thank you to the paramedic and walk back into the house, what will happen? Gone. Paramedic has helped you. It's not that he has not helped you. The paramedic has helped you. But the person believes that and then there's no need to go to the doctor because I'm all right. This is what temporary methods does. Quick methods does. Are you able to follow? Conceptually, I'm saying why it won't work. Because it is like believing the first aid treatment itself is a cure for the disease. First aid treatment is not the cure for the disease. It just, you will be alive for the next 45 minutes to reach the hospital. That's all. Actual treatment starts in the hospital only. But then the first aid itself, people misunderstand. Again, even today they do that, no? When the temperature goes high, medicine and all takes few hours to work. So what do? They have the ice pack. Ice pack is first aid. When you do the ice pack, in 10-15 minutes, there's a reduction in the fever. And the person says, I'm all right. Why do I have to take medicines? All these pharmaceutical companies are making business. Why do I have to do that? What can you tell the person? That's it. Narayana, God will come and even gods cannot come and save you. So first aid should not be misunderstood as cure. You follow? That is why I said last week when Mala asked, what is the temporary method? There is no temporary. I said there is no quick method. There are temporary methods. Number 2, those temporary methods are not recommended. Number 3, these temporary methods gives you a false hope that you are cured. The temporary methods gives a false hope. Like you go to the meditation class, the person comes back thinking that everything is sorted out. Nothing gets sorted out there. But then what happens? There is a quick relief. These classes gets very dragging, very boring, uninspiring, unmotivating because there is no quick relief. You follow what I'm saying? And by default, everybody will have their own quick methods to get out of it. So there is no list here. In fact, all the list of quick methods will be again and again and again will be explained as not right. You follow? Is it okay? Quick method means temporary forgetting. That's why I have said this any number of times. Have you ever observed? All entertainment is temporary forgetfulness. Anything that helps you to forget yourself temporary is what you call as entertaining. What you call as entertaining is that which makes you forget, isn't it? I always used to think, and I have done it quite a few times, and everybody around me got so bugged and I stopped it also. I always used to think, okay, so many movies you watch, why don't you watch your marriage video? It's also a screen, no? It's also something is happening there, no? Why don't you watch that? Why can't you watch that? You won't even want to go near that, no? But then somebody gets married in the movie. Somebody is doing that. Why? That is more entertaining. Because it makes you to forget you. Are you able to follow? If screen is what is entertaining, is what is happening on the screen is what is entertaining, anything should entertain you, no? And what should give you maximum entertainment? Your marriage album, isn't it? Your marriage video. She is asking the question. You should ask her after the class, not now. If you want to irritate anybody, I'll put the marriage video. And nobody will know what to do. In 2 minutes, the whole place will become empty, isn't it? Everybody will get up and go away. And I will bring everybody also. See, here this uncle who passed away, you can see. See, this aunt who's passed away is here. Who wants to see that? PS1, we want to go and see, no? What is the difference? What is the difference? PS1 is a new movie here, Resaji. PS1 is one new movie here. Big furore going on about that, isn't it? Big drama going on about that. What is it that is so entertaining in that? And the marriage video is not that entertaining. Are you able to follow? Because that makes you to forget you. Your marriage video reminds you. So anything that reminds you is not entertaining. Anything that makes you forget is entertaining. What will make you to forget? Only intoxicant. Only intoxicant can help. That's why they get intoxicated. And mind has this capacity to get intoxicated to anything. You follow? Long back, one of the preparation, I think, I don't know how long back it was. There was this Michael Jackson concert happening and the preparation for that concert. 50 ambulances will be standing in his concerts. You know that? 50 ambulances. People go hysterical and they faint and they will be and they will be taken out. And I saw that, I thought, I have seen it in bhajans also here. People go into frenzy and they faint, and we cart them out also. What is the difference? The moment they get out of that intoxicated state, they are back to their own self. No difference at all. It means you can get intoxicated to anything. There was one program here that I'm talking about late 80s. Not late 80s, mid 80s. Mid 80s is where this this Ram temple movement and all was in a big way and all that. One of the persons was very much involved in that movement. So frenzied music for 3 hours. The whole lot is completely brainwashed in 3 hours. And then the announcement came. What? Rama walked in the forest for 14 years for us. He didn't walk for us, no. Kaikeyi said, go to the forest. He went to go. Why did he go to the forest? You and me. He didn't go for us. But the man said, Rama walked in forest for 14 years. Can't you walk back home today? Everybody say, yes, we will walk. Then what to do? Empty all that you have and go. People took the gold chain. People took everything was. And 3 days later, phone calls started coming. What? Can you return that Mangal Sutra? Can you return that chain? They said all that same night, all got melted and went back. Where do we do that? Intoxication. You follow what I'm saying? I can go on and on and on, but it doesn't make any difference. These are all temporary methods, but doesn't help you in any way. Is it okay?
Look, I'm not able to understand how music is also an intoxicant.
Because it makes you forget. It makes you forget your pain and misery temporarily. So anything is an intoxicant. They try those kind of. I forgot the name of that music. So addictive that music is, worse than drug addict. All these people who have this mental illnesses and all, they will be they'll be exposed to that music. Numeral something. I forgot the name of that music. There is one music there which is so intoxicant. And I asked two people here, do you have any exposure to that? The girl said, yes. I have had exposure to that. So soothing it is, so comfortable it is. Third day, you get a bigger headache if you don't listen to it. Intoxicant. Third day, if you don't listen to it, you get a headache. Anything. You can get intoxicated in the class also. You can get intoxicated by this class also. Isn't it? Anything the mind knows how to get addicted. It can be anything. That's why none of these temporary methods work. You follow? I'll tell you, if I remember the name of that music, I'll tell you. Not for you to go and listen. Huh? I'll try, don't try. Are you okay? There is a follow-up question. If there is no temporary method to come out of our mental disturbances, as per Vedanta Shastra, should we go through it with all the pain? Question, follow-up question. If there is no temporary method to come out of our mental disturbance, as per Vedanta Shastra, there some distances Shastra. As per the third person, as per Hindu newspaper report, as per Vedanta Shastra, should we go through it with all the pain? verse number 14, chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita. Agamapayino nityaha tam titikshasva bharata. Practice titiksha, that's all. He has said it very clearly. Verse number 14, chapter 2. Beautiful verse. What is that verse? I have said that verse any number of times. It is agamapayinaha, it is anityaha. What you got to do? Practice titiksha. In sadhana chatushtaya sampath, one of the preparatory practices for gaining this knowledge is titiksha. This is titiksha. You got to go through that. You got to go through that. Chanting, japa, breathing exercises. Could you talk about the latter? Latter is the breathing. All these are temporary methods. You follow what I'm saying? Beautiful verse, no? Agamapayinaha, anityaha. All that you go, only one thing that you can do is what? Practice titiksha. That's why in this culture here, if there is anything, they'll say, first hint of pain, immediately don't pop in a painkiller. Don't pop in a. We are not giving medical advices and saying stay with the pain, please. Disclaimer. Yeah, disclaimer. We are not giving medical advice. Yeah, sir, I had the pain. I thought I will practice tiksha and I'm in the ICU now. We are not. Yeah, we are not responsible for all these kind of things that you do. You follow what I'm saying? Sitoshna sukha dukkadaha agamapayino nityaha tam titikshasva. Hingendu vardidala matra sparshastu kaunteya. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Matra sparshastu kaunteya means senses, when it contacts the world, certain things happen. Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkadaha. Sita and Ushna, Sukha and Dukkha. Physical comfort, mental comfort. Physical pain, mental pain. That's all. Sita, Ushna. What is titiksha means? Titiksha means the right distance. That's all. Fire, you get too close to the fire, it will burn you. You go too far away from the fire, again it is not useless. Again it is useless. So what do you do when there is cold? When there is cold, you light up the fire. And what do? You are neither too close to the fire nor too far away from the fire. So there is a little bit of cold, but the fire helps you to manage the cold. But then there is cold. Are you able to follow? There is cold. This is called titiksha. Matrar sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukadukkadaha agamapayino nityaha tam titikshasva bharata. And every time we talk about the necessary qualification to study Vedanta, one quality that we keep highlighting a lot is titiksha. Titiksha. How to explain that in English is the problem, isn't it? That's why the Sanskrit word is so brainwashed. The Sanskrit word is repeated so much that you'll remember that. Titiksha. Definitely there is a pain. Definitely there is an inconvenience. Physical inconvenience, mental inconvenience. Physical inconvenience, mental inconvenience. What do you do about it? What do you do about it? You don't try to intoxicate yourself and make you to believe that it is not there. You don't intoxicate yourself into a self-belief, into a self-hypnotism. What is that self-hypnotism, self-belief? You start doing all this and you start believing as though it is not there. Temporary. It comes back. It comes back. You follow? and remember the formula. If you remember the formula, it will be easy. What is the formula? The problem of samsara is because of ignorance. Impossible to convince. In one generation, if you find one person who is convinced that the problem of samsara is ignorance, you can congratulate yourself to have been born in that generation, because you have met such a person. The problem of samsara is ignorance. The moment you understand ignorance as the cause for samsara, solution is very easy. What is the solution? If ignorance is the problem, you got to bring in knowledge, isn't it? You got to bring in knowledge. You go to the medical college, breathe in and breathe out, and you will come out as a doctor. Huh? You go to the medical college, you practice pranayama, breathing in and breathing out, and then you practice meditation. But one thing you will not do. What? Study, attend the class. You will come out as a doctor. Huh? People will claim that I am a doctor, but will you go? Will you go? You won't go, no. Why? Because there is no cause and effect correlation. You follow what I'm saying? What is the problem here? The problem of samsara is ignorance. Since ignorance is the problem of samsara, knowledge becomes the solution. And then there is a fill in blanks. If ignorance is the problem, knowledge becomes the dash solution. Fill in the blanks. What will you fill in with, Vijay? Only solution. It becomes clear. Simply don't say knowledge is the solution. Say knowledge is the only solution. Because adjectives what are the only when you put adjectives you are able to understand. If darkness is the problem, light is the solution. Correct. But for a person who believes there are very many solutions also, you have to emphasize it. How will you emphasize it? Light is the only solution. Mala, are you okay? Unnecessarily you get confused and you confuse everybody else also in the class. Huh? Is it okay? Mala, is it okay, Mala? Yeah. Attachment is calamitous, is what we were studying. Is calamitous. Calamity is that which you understand later, not before. Only after happens you call it as a calamity. Knowledge says before going through it, you should be able to understand. That is how knowledge prepares you. Knowledge doesn't prepare you to face it after the calamity. Knowledge prepares you in such a way that calamity will never happen. And what is a calamity? Attachment. And this attachment happens in 4 realms, broadly speaking. And all attachment will be a permutation combination of this 4 only. What is the 4? Wealth, women, children, religion. These are the 4 fundamental areas of attachment. Wealth, women, children, religion. Everything else can be a permutation combination of these 4 only. Up to this we studied. Now we will start with wealth and women. We will study wealth and women first. Pineapple and the bee we will study after that. Yes.
Wealth. Wealth is a commodity that can be exchanged for sense objects. With wealth, you can purchase color and form for the eyes, sound for the ears, smell for the nose, taste for the tongue, and touch for the skin. No more. With wealth, you cannot buy love. You cannot buy knowledge. Hence, a person who runs after wealth is actually running after sense objects. The sense organs have a natural tendency to gravitate to the sense objects of the world. This tendency becomes further aggravated by the power of the sense objects to tantalize the sense organs, literally pulling the sense organs towards them. Thus, there is a push from within the person and a pull from the external world. In this predicament, a human being develops an attachment for the sense objects that drives him to acquiring more and more wealth. It is not wrong to acquire money as one needs sense objects for a living. But to crave for and accumulate wealth indiscriminately, even beyond one's liberal needs, would ruin the personality. The wise have cautioned humanity of the dire consequences of accumulating wealth. It is the craving that degrades and destroys the hoarders of wealth. In human history, commoners seek to become rich all through their lifespan, and the rich crave to reach the super-rich. They then become victims of what is labeled as wealth fatigue syndrome. When the addiction to wealth gets further aggravated and people speculate indiscriminately to gain more and more, it ends in financial crashes. Such crashes occurring time and again in the financial markets of the world is an aftermath of man's uncontrollable greed for wealth. However, in this scenario, a rare one reaches near limitless wealth, becomes obnoxiously rich. Such a person lives a life of a loner, depressed with a terrible feeling of monotony. He remains occupied day after day with the problem of staying rich. Ironically, the children of the affluent also suffer from clinical depression. Women. A human being's attachment to the opposite sex is intense. When a male and a female settle down in a life's partnership, they develop an attachment, infatuation, obsession for each other. And what follows attachment is a corroding sense of possessiveness. Little do they realize that attachment and possessiveness leads them to breaking up the relationship. The world is thus inflicted with disharmony, disagreement, and divorce. The renowned philosopher Khalil Gibran cautions humanity with his wise words. Marriage is a temple resting on two pillars. If they come too close to each other, the temple will collapse. Attachment to one's family has become a menacing reality, defying the least detection among humans. spouses suffocate themselves, sticking to each other at all times. Never do they leave any space between themselves to operate on their own. They must cling to each other all day long. They would hold hands. They would sit together, walk together, wine together, dine together, literally ride on each other's back. The children observe their parents doing it all the time and blindly copy it. They fail to realize that familiarity breeds contempt. The suffocating closeness causes the relationship to fall apart. It's a question of time. It is rather difficult, if not impossible, to educate even the educated on the value and grandeur of living a mature life of mental detachment. What it means to provide space between two individuals. The space that gives them the breather, the freedom, the joy of living together. None conceives such behavior as an expression of true love, a practical way of a beautiful and enduring relationship. Here is an unprecedented story of a young married couple which took place in 1970 in Mumbai, India. A girl of 30 and a doctor husband of 36 enjoyed a happy married life. 6 years after marriage, something incredible happened in their lives. The doctor was involved with another girl. Having started an affair with her, he mentioned it to his wife. He would take leave of her every Saturday night to visit his lady love. The wife, beautiful and loving as she was, would willingly let him go while she slept peacefully at home. And then something unimaginable took place. The wife expressed a concern that if drives home late every Saturday night in the heavy traffic after consuming his drinks, she lovingly pleaded, "Darling, why don't you sleep in our house and return fresh in the morning?" The man was taken aback by the wife's genuine concern. The next weekend, he visited the lady friend and could not relate to her sensually. He explained what had happened. Never again would he go to her or any other woman in his lifetime. Few understand the value of detachment. A great Indian sage, Swami Ramatirtha, would tirelessly educate people on this impeccable law of life. The way to gain anything is to lose it. But people in their ignorance must cling on to their spouses only to lose their relationship. The two powerful attachments to wealth and women
Yes, we will continue later. We'll stop.
have been well captured by the English poet.
Yeah. So two things we are see, the wealth and the women. The wealth, the money is one of the greatest scientific inventions of human being is the money. Before that, life was so difficult. So what they did, they want to get rid of the difficulty, and money was created. You follow? Before that, it used to be called a barter system. It used to be called barter system, and it is very ineffective, and things were not happening at all. Now, what is it? Understand it very simply. You have a cow and you want to purchase a horse. That's what in those days. You have a cow and you want to purchase a horse. Now, it will be a lifetime task for that person. How it will become a lifetime task for that person? You have to find a man who wants to sell a horse and wants to purchase a cow. How many you can go and ask? What will you do? It became a huge problem. You know, the word salary comes from the word salt. They were made to work, and salt was given as the salary. Impossible to believe that now. The word salary comes from the salt. In the Roman times, they were made to work the whole day. At the end of the week, they were given salary. And what is the salary that was given? Salt was given. Look at that way of life. How difficult. Now, what that fellow has to do with salt? What that fellow can do with salt? So he has to go and find his own way. What is his own way? How to sell the salt and buy rice, tur dal, rice, tur dal, moong dal. How it will happen? So what happened? You have to find a man. Stick to the same example. I'm giving that example. You have a cow and you want to purchase a horse. It means what? Somebody must be interested in taking your cow in the way it is, and you should be willing to take the horse in the way that it is. Nothing was moving. Nothing was happening. So what they did, you may find people who have horses, but they say, I don't want a cow. Now what will you do? You may find people who are interested in buying cows, but they don't have a horse. Money became a beautiful medium. For what? Money became a beautiful medium. What is a medium now? Well, money is a medium for what? For exchanging things. That's all. You understand this, you understand what wealth can do. What wealth can do, Calamitous says, with iron and gold, you can buy iron and gold. That's all. Money became the medium of exchange. It did a great service to humanity. Because people became capable of purchasing, selling. Because people became capable of purchasing, selling, naturally they become more and more rich. That's how people started becoming rich. Second is Artha is one of the Purushartha in Vedantic literature. We understand Artha as one of the goals of life, because without Artha you cannot exchange. Without wealth you cannot exchange. Money is a beautiful invention. Wealth is one of the beautiful inventions. It makes people capable of having things that they don't have. It makes people capable of having things that they don't have. Where the problem started, it is a useful tool. As far as it is a useful tool, there is no problem. Now, where did the problem start in relation to wealth? The problem started when people started believing in what? Since with wealth everything can be bought, they started believing that everything can be purchased. This is the first problem with money, the wealth. Are you able to connect? The problem started is people started actually believing that everything can be purchased. And significantly, all religions are against wealth. You know why? They are not against wealth. They understand all this. But what are they against? You believe everything can be purchased. That notion is the problem. It is not wealth the problem, because wealth is the invention, greatest invention. And in Vedanta, we have a Shastra called Artha Shastra. We have a thing called Dharma Shastra, and we have a thing called Artha Shastra. So there is a lot of treatises on how to generate wealth. How all that study, everything is done by the Shastras itself. And yet the same Shastra says against it. So what does it mean? When others have, you should be against. When you have, all right, Srikanth. You should be against it only when others have it. If you are having it, this is how everybody started living. And all masters, all religions go against wealth. It's not that they are against wealth. What are they talking about? More and more wealth you have, more and more you develop a wrong notion, a wrong understanding. What is a wrong understanding? Everything can be purchased. And what cannot be purchased? What you want cannot be purchased. That's why they are against. What is it that you want? Peace, security, happiness. That cannot be purchased through wealth. And more wealth you have, more fear, isn't it? More wealth you have, more you will get disillusioned with people around. You know that? More if you have wealth, more you will get disillusioned with people around you. How? Because you know nobody wants you. Nobody is affectionate to you. Everybody is affectionate to the wealth that you have. In Bhajagovindam, Shankara says it very beautifully. Wealth and women autopilot I thought, isn't it? Continuing from midnight yesterday, I thought we'll just continue. I am having a sleeping problem. I am talking till midnight. Why is he also awake? I don't know. He is also awake till midnight. No, sir, I will also. And I told him, don't come. No, I will come. I said, okay. Maybe he also has sleeping problems. Wealth and women. Bhajagovindam, Shankara says it so beautifully. As long as there is a capability to earn, there will be parivar. The moment you lose it, nobody will even want to give a glass of water to you, he says. Nobody will pay attention Kaha parivaraha. Where are they gone? He asks. This attitude that wealth brings is what we are discussing as wrong about wealth. This distinction you must understand. Please understand this distinction. Otherwise, you destroy all the wealth away, and what? We go back to barter system. What do? We can't go back. That is going backward. So what is then? What are they against wealth? Life needs money. Life needs food. Life needs clothes. Life needs houses. Life needs literature. Life needs music, art, poetry. Life is so vast that you need so many things. No. Wealth gives you access to all that. Wealth gives you an access to all that. But when it gives you access to all that, what you start believing? Your accessibility to that and you are having that, you start believing what? Wealth can give peace, security, happiness. Then the person realizes what? Wealth doesn't give peace, security, and happiness. In fact, it makes you feel disillusioned. It makes you unhappy, lose your peace of mind, isn't it? More wealth you have, more you have to save it, isn't it? That very saving becomes the very trying to save it becomes a problem. Correct? You have to put a video camera inside the house, outside the house, all around the house, and you have to have an app so that wherever you are in the world, you can see what is happening in your house, so that security. Everything is so every 10 minutes the fellow will open the mobile and see whether the house is safe or not. Please, we're not saying don't keep cameras. Government rules, you have to keep cameras. Keep it. I'm not saying don't keep it. But what it means is to connect. At one level, you understand music by a human being making a noise. At one level, you understand music like a human being making a noise. At another level, when you grow, what happens? You will find better music in a waterfall, when the wind blows through the pine trees, simply when you walk in the forest, the birds chirping, dry leaves, walk on that, what a music it creates. To appreciate this, you don't need wealth. But if you have to go to a Michael Jackson concert and appreciate music, you need wealth, isn't it? If you want to go and watch a movie, you need wealth. You open the eyes, there is a movie going on constantly, isn't it? There is a movie going on constantly. You don't have to go to a movie theater to get entertained. It is there already, isn't it? What happens because of this craving, because of the wrong belief that everything can be purchased, the person goes on acquiring. What they call as purchase power. Isn't it? You can purchase. What you can purchase? Things can be purchased. Purchasing an object is not purchasing happiness. With happiness, you should go and purchase. You don't purchase to become happy. That's what Vedanta is saying. Again, whatever you want to purchase, you purchase being happy already. You don't go and purchase anything for happiness. But wealth makes you to believe what? You can purchase what? Happiness. Vedanta says, be respectful of money, worship wealth. Be respectful, worship it. But very few people know how to worship it. 98% believe wealth can give everything. 2% arthamanartham bhavaya nityam. Artha brings anartha. So they will not go near it. So either way, Vedanta says both are wrong. Why? Because you don't understand what wealth can give and what wealth cannot give. It is a means, that's all. And you don't condemn a means. It's a means. Means for what? Means to purchase things. It's a means to purchase things. And purchasing things is not purchasing happiness. Because when you purchase, you are in an unhappy, frustrated, empty state. When you purchase something, you are in a state of unhappiness. In that unhappy state, you want to purchase, hoping that you will get freedom from unhappiness. What happens? You don't get happiness. Second, you buy it. It is attractive as long as it's not yours. The moment it is yours, it loses its attraction. You know that? Anything is attractive as long as it's not yours. The moment it is yours, the mind will shift to the next, isn't it? Everybody is wonderment. Everybody is in wonderment with the film star, isn't it? Everybody is in wonderment with the film star, but the person who married that film star wants to run away. No, I always used to think why it is like when the whole lot is craving for that association, that person wants to run away, get away. Why? You follow? It means what? It's very clear. What is very clear? You can exchange things, but you cannot same purchasing mind believes divine support also can be purchased. God support also can be purchased. The same mind that it is believing in purchasing starts believing what? We can purchase divine support also. And how to purchase divine support now? Build one temple and do one puja and give what God prefers. Barter system continues with God also, isn't it? With relationship, it continues. With God, it continues. Misunderstanding. So, when Vedanta talks about wealth, they are not talking about wealth. They are not saying you should not have wealth. They are saying, wealth, don't make the connection between wealth and happiness. Don't make the connection between wealth and security. Don't make that connection, that's all. It is a useful tool, and this tool has to be made effective use of. Because it's an effective tool, you should learn how to make effective use of it. But what it cannot give you, you understand. You do not connect it to peace and happiness. like a joke we say, no? Whoever says there is no happiness in money, ask them to empty their bank account. You will know, isn't it? If somebody says money doesn't give happiness, ask them to empty the bank account. Nobody will empty the bank account. And still everybody keeps saying money is why? Deep-rooted ignorance. What is a deep-rooted ignorance? Money. With money, you can purchase. What you can purchase? Happiness can be purchased. Love can be purchased. Integrity can be purchased. Sacrifice can be purchased. Divine support also can be purchased. What Vedanta comes and says is, those things you cannot. Enlightenment cannot be purchased. Freedom cannot be purchased. Compassion cannot be purchased. Love cannot be purchased. It means what? It means what? With wealth, you can purchase that which gives comfort to life. That's why he says, iron and gold is good for buying iron and gold. Why? Because life needs comforts. Again, I'm repeating. Life needs comforts. Life needs good food. Life needs so many things. You have all this, but you don't understand money. Having this is not going to give you happiness. What is the proof? What is the proof? Those who don't have wealth believe becoming wealthy is happiness. Those who are wealthy believes in what? What do they experience? Giving it is happiness. That's why they write will and donate. So it means what gives happiness? Giving gives happiness. Are you able to follow? Those who don't have wealth believe wealth gives happiness. And then they get wealth. And then they realize what? Having this wealth is not really happy and all. And they find real happiness in giving. So from this, what do you understand? Giving gives happiness. Lastly, money gives happiness only when you spend it. As long as you have it, there is no happiness. Money gives happiness only when you are spending. You have to buy it, no. Supposing you convert all your wealth into paper, currencies, and every day open the safe and keep touching it, counting it, touching it, putting it back, counting it, touching it, putting it back. What will happen? Very soon, the pests will eat it up because the pest doesn't know the difference between newspaper and the pest doesn't know the difference between newspaper. So the pest will not say, we should not eat this. The pest will not say that. Therefore, you understand clearly what wealth can give and what wealth cannot give. What wealth can give? It will give you a capacity to buy comfort. Comfort is not happiness. That's all. Comfort is not happiness. The misunderstanding is what? Comfort is misunderstood as happiness. What does comfort means? Okay. They talk about, it's a very famous thing, no? They talk about the Chennai weather. What is Chennai weather? Hot? hotter, murderous, isn't it? It kills you, isn't it? Hot, hotter, hottest. It is murderous, isn't it? It murders you. And then people ask, how is summer in Chennai, sir? I say, I've forgotten Chennai summer. Living in Chennai, I've forgotten. How you go to everybody's house, it's air conditioned. You get into the car, it is air conditioned. Nowadays, advanced technology, isn't it? You can put the AC on even before you get into the car, isn't it? And then you can get into the car as soon as you comfort. So you get into the car, you don't feel the heat. You go to anybody's place, it's all air conditioned. You come back and sleep, air conditioned. Where is the summer heat? There's no summer heat. Comfort. This is called comfort. Correct? In this comfortable AC car, in this comfortable AC room, in this comfortable AC bedroom, you can sit. You can sit sweating. People sit sweating in this comfort. That sweating is because of what? That sweating is because of wrongly misunderstanding. Wealth can give a wrong misunderstanding. That comfort is happiness. Remember, comfort is not happiness. Happiness is your inner state of maturity, unconnected to anything. This is Vedanta. This is the knowledge of life. Happiness, peace, security is the internal state which is unconnected to anything. But people do not understand it like this about wealth. So what do? They want more and more, because more wealth means more comforts. More comforts means more happiness. Thus, the greed for comforts drives a person. The greed for comfort. To an extent where you will start borrowing for the comfort, isn't it? Or for what? For the comfort. Vedanta comes and says, have it. Enjoy it. After a while, you lose the enjoyment of all that what the money can buy. That is where the mind starts getting, weird. It starts looking for weird enjoyments, because all the normal things of life stopped giving enjoyments. Why? Too much. Too much. Isn't it? Too much. What is it's called, no? The great American dream. It's called, isn't it? Depression. What is a great American dream leading into depression again? Why? Because everything you should have in. What is a great American dream? Everything should be available in abundance, isn't it? You see a slice of bread here and you see a slice of bread there. Venkatachalam. In Chennai, you drink coffee in tumbler, no? In America, you have to drink coffee in mug, isn't it? Because abundance, correct? You go to a movie, half a kg of popcorn, 5 kg of Pepsi, 5 liters of Pepsi, The joy content is absolutely gone. Why? Abundance creates boredom. Abundance creates boredom. Abundance creates neutralization, and neutralization creates boredom. Abundance creates neutralization, and neutralization creates boredom. That's why wealthy is bored. Wealthy are bored. Why? Because it is an abundance. Abundance to an extent where you buy a new iPhone 14 has come, isn't it? I'm also, when new model keeps coming, I'm also saying, hoping that somebody will get me one. Nobody's getting, isn't it? And they think you are detached. No, sir, why do you need? Unsure. New model has come, isn't it? A new model iPhone has come. iPhone 14. Wow. These children don't get any joy at all of that. When you buy and give, it's like it takes them 5 days to even open the box. They don't even open the box. It takes 5 days to open the box. Implies what? What does it mean? It has stopped giving. It has stopped giving enjoyment. This is boredom. This boredom leads to depression. Vishada. Remember this. Abundance leads to neutralization. Neutralization leads to boredom. Boredom leads to depression. That's why in this culture, we talk about discipline, vratam, etc. We talk about tapas, we talk about vratams, etc. Why? You maintain in you, there is always a discipline that is maintained so that you can enjoy all this. Otherwise, what happens? You simply stop enjoying. And another weird notion about wealth, with this we conclude for today. Another weird notion about wealth people have, isn't it? That's why it's so confusing, this wealth is. All rich people are bad and everybody wants to become rich, isn't it? All rich people are seen as bad people. Rakshasas they are. Poverty is worshipped. This is the most absurd thing, where poverty is seen as virtuous and richness is seen as devilish. And all the movies they show, no? Isn't it? Have you ever seen a poor villain in a movie? And the movie Ram Subramanian. Have you ever seen a movie where a villain will be poor? Huh? All heroes will be poor, no? Poor, poverty, suffering, torn clothes, roadside fellow. And the most beautiful, richest girl will fall in love with this fellow. How can it happen? Vedanta, when they say wealth is calamitous, poverty is not worshipped. Remember that. This is where Vedanta is very difficult to today. Poverty is not worshipped. Poverty is not said as virtuous. You got to do the right action. You got to have enough. You got to generate wealth. You got to have enough of all that. Only thing that you have to understand is what? Comfort is needed. Happiness and comfort are unconnected. That's all. Janaka, the king. Sudama, the pauper. Correct? Janaka, the king. Sudama, the pauper. Wealth brings about a wrong notion that acquisition and hoarding will protect you. That's why they say wealth is calamitous. Are you able to understand now? When they say wealth is calamitous, it's not the wealth that is calamitous. That aggrandizing, hoarding notion that you develop is calamitous. And yet they say generate wealth. Why? Because one of the spiritual disciplines is to do dhanam, and if you have to do dhanam, you should have wealth, and you should have it in abundance, because abundant wealth means abundant dhanam. Correct, sir. You have abundant wealth and do dhanam. Maybe neft details WhatsApp, isn't it? You can right away transfer. Wealth doesn't give a problem, just as a tool doesn't give a problem. You not knowing how to handle the tool is the problem. Remember this. This is the common formula. Is tool a problem? Knife as the tool is never a problem. Fire as the tool is never a problem. You not knowing how to handle the tool becomes the problem. Wealth is the tool. Wealth is the tool. It is the craving. It is the hoarding. It is the belief that everything can be purchased. Wealth develops certain wrong notions, and these wrong notions are problematic. So, when Shastra says attachment to wealth, means attachment to these wrong notions that you have wealth, everything can be purchased. And yet Vedanta says comforts you have to have. Comforts you should have the capacity to earn wealth. If you don't have the capacity to earn wealth, you have not done justice to living. You should have the capacity to earn it. You may choose to earn, you may choose not to earn. That's a different, that's your individual choice. But there is the capacity. And then the right knowledge. What is the right knowledge? It doesn't give you peace. It doesn't give you security. It doesn't give you happiness. And it gives you a wrong notion that everything can be purchased. With wealth, you can hire a person, but you cannot hire loyalty and integrity from that person. Correct? With wealth, you can hire. But what you cannot hire? But when you hire a person, what are you actually wanting? When you hire a person, what are you wanting? That's why we started replacing that with machines. Why? Because you tune in, it will do it. Human beings are not doing. So when you hire, what do you want? You believe that wealth can make you hire a person. You cannot hire loyalty, sincerity, dedication. All salary isn't it? How much ever you pay, they don't do their work properly. The complaint about the help that you have at home and also the CEO, same complaint. It makes no difference. Complaint is the same. What? The domestic help at home is also not doing the job properly. The CEO is also not doing the. Why? Because with wealth you can hire people. With wealth you cannot hire sincerity, loyalty, dedication. With health you can buy books and you can read it also. But knowledge cannot be bought by buying books. Knowledge is not So, what is Vedanta talking about? A clarity. What is a clarity? What it can give and what it cannot give. Then the exaggerated notion that you have over wealth goes away. What are they trying to do? They're trying to only take away the exaggerated notion by telling you what it can give and what it cannot give. This is as far as wealth is concerned. Now, the women, which will continue next week. We are not starting with the women today. Kanchana and Kamini, Bhajagovinda. So today we spoke about the craving for wealth resulting in mental agony. Next week we will talk about women. Women, it's not the actual women. When we go there, we will understand. We'll try to understand what they mean. And since the Shastric language is so symbolic by nature, we can take it so literally and get carried away and get into political debates, isn't it? And then they'll get into political debates. Why degrading women like that? Why not put? And what they mean is something different. But that is the language. What we will see in the next week. With this, we conclude for today.